It's Friday. You're on.
I know. What's up? Happy Friday.
You're on a different clock now. You gotta all the PPC stuff. Gotta take a break for a minute. So what you eating today? Can we start off? I know you're eating something. What are you eating today? Go ahead, and let us know. This has become a regular segment. Part of it. What is that? That looks like noodles or
It's a
microwave.
it's, it's a microwavable meal because people. The reason why I'm eating on Friday at this time is because it's the only time I have available from working all day. This is like it's like a 10-minute space between working and getting on the show. So you have to endure me with no lipstick as I eat my food and drink my non-alcoholic beverage.
I swear I feel like I'm trying to play with my lights and I feel real bright today. I don't know why I feel real bright today. All right, so anyway, hey, this is Miguel Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio. First time tuning to Life Full Circle Radio. I'm Miguel Lloyd, the host. She's the super producer. And I saw your post about a week ago when you said you was happy you didn't get your pregnant nose. You good?
Yo, I'm sorry to all the women because I know everybody kept saying, "Oh, that happens in your 8th or 9th month." No, Miguel, you have seen some women where they're like 3 months pregnant, and then all of a sudden their nose is gigantic, and you're like, "Where's that coming from? How did that happen so fast?"
Yeah. It's all good. Somebody told me, yeah, Cody, CC, I got my production people that said, Miguel, you're hot. That's a production term. I know I'm dope, but my light is really,
You
really.
are bright. You're very bright.
I'm
I don't
very
know
bright.
or whatever.
I'm trying to. I'm gonna drop up. I'm gonna drop a new scene and let you. And I'm gonna put you in there, so I can turn down. I'm gonna turn down the heat real quick.
Okay,
So
cool.
you go ahead
So while he's turning down his lights, we have a lot to discuss today. There's a couple topics that we're going to get into. Excuse me. See, that's why you can't eat on air because then you burp. We're definitely going to get into what happened in the stock market with the Robinhood app. We are going to talk about Will Smith. We're going to talk about the very, very, I want to say untimely death, but she was 96, but the death of Cicely Tyson and a Hollywood icon, not a black icon, a Hollywood icon. And we're also going to get a little bit into what's going on with T.I. and Tiny and their, well, for lack of better words, their rape allegations. So it's going to be a lot for us to get into today. And I can't wait to talk about everything. It has been a crazy week. So are your lights turned down now? You are still super white, but we're just gonna go.
we go. I'm gonna be super bright today. All right. So you already talking about Ti? Did I hear you already talking about Ti? Because I didn't have you in my ear. Was that
Well,
what you just dropped?
I just told everybody that that's going to be on our list of stuff to talk about, but it's definitely not on our top priority list. It's down there at the bottom. It's at the bottom.
Yeah, that Ti mess. Bruh. If that's true, it's not gonna be good. All right, so anyway, let's jump into this thing because the hottest thing that has been going, the hottest conversation that has been going, has been GameStop. Now, for people who may not know, like, what is a GameStop and what is going on? Okay, so I'm gonna let you set it up, and then I'm gonna come right. I'm coming in. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you set it up.
So GameStop is the Blockbuster of video games, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Back in the day,
Yeah.
a long magical time ago,
Yeah.
people would go to GameStop to buy the new video games because you couldn't just do a direct download from the website. And a lot of people used to wait in line at GameStop. They would have the new devices, you'd have new video games, but as times have changed, less people are going to GameStop. The other stock that people were buying on Robinhood on the Robinhood app, and Miguel explained what that is they were buying AMC. Right now, AMC is struggling because people are not going to the movie theaters because there hasn't really been a way describing how to properly go to the movie theater without possibly catching COVID. I mean, think about a movie theater.
Right.
You're in.
Right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about this situation. These just all you went all the way around the bend to say these are two crap stocks. These are two businesses. One that is on the verge of going out of business. When you talk about GameStop, AMC is just waiting for America, waiting for the world to open back up so that people will start going back to the movies. But we're not there. So what happened? You've got a bunch of kids, but I won't say kids, a bunch of people on Reddit who decided we're going to go and we're going to battle the hedge fund managers and we're going to continue to drive this stuff up. Pretty soon, we're going to have a guest on. He's going to talk to us a little bit about stock and portfolios. We're going to spend a little bit of time on that because I'm by no way, shape, or form. Do you, kid? Do you own stock?
We do own stock. We own a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stock in Advanced Auto Parts. I haven't checked because our stock portfolio was through my husband's job
Mm-hmm.
with Fidelity, and we have a couple other stocks on there. But our main stock we own a lot in is Advanced Auto Parts.
Yeah. So, I own a stock. I've got a Robinhood account, and we got a few other places. But this is kind of Robinhood is like that's my play account. I go in there and I grab a few things. Man, I tell you what. I was looking at that. I was looking at that stock since Tuesday, I think is when it started, and it was bananas. It was absolutely bananas. And I actually sat back and I got a little chuckle out of it because I can only imagine. I just all of a sudden started thinking about what's the movie where greed is good from back in the day. I just imagine these hedge fund people and these people who were sitting back and they were probably losing their daggone minds because they couldn't control it. And here's the thing. When it came down to the fact that they stopped. Right now, I cannot go on my phone and even see what my position is with GameStop.
So did you own GameStop stock before all of this happened, or did you just start doing it on Tuesday?
No. I picked it up on Tuesday, and I watched it go from the low 100s up to $400 a share, and back and forth.
So here's why I didn't invest, because this whole thing was started off of a Reddit thread by a couple of millennial dorks who were trying to just keep the big hedge funds from doing anything with GameStop. So what they did is that they got together on Reddit, started a thread on Reddit. They had no idea about how the stock was performing. They just said, we want to make the hedge funds mad, apparently. Then they got on Twitter and they started making it trend. And that's how the stock blew up.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I think the whole thing is a little weird to me. And now they're saying, oh, they're trying to break down the little guy. Are they breaking down the little guy? Or are they really just saying, okay, some assholes on Reddit got together and now this is where we are?
Well, let's just keep it real. Like a lot of the assholes who make a lot of money in the stock market are getting some of their own medicine. Literally, they short stocks to try to run people out of business, to try to, basically take this stock and put people in position where other people are losing. And what happened was these hedge fund guys are the ones that were losing. And then when it came down to the CEO of Robinhood going on a Chris Cuomo show the other night, he wouldn't let him kind of dance around it because the name of your business is Robinhood. And you're supposed to be basically stealing from the rich to getting to the poor, given, kind of anecdotally. And when it came down to the rich saying, oh, by the way, a hedge fund owns the bulk of your business, shut it down and take all those take all those stocks off of your trading. And there, there's going to be some hell to pay because, Congress is paying attention. Congress is paying attention.
Yeah, the CEO of GameStop got on Chris Cuomo last night, and he didn't help the situation. He made it worse.
He thought he did, but Chris Cuomo, I did. I watched that interview with Chris Cuomo, and Chris Cuomo doesn't have Trump to deal with every day now. So now you're the next target, and he roars behind out.
He got the time to research and look and go, okay, so you did these 11 things wrong, so I'm going to go down this list of 11 things and ask you why you did these things wrong. And I felt so bad because, again, Robinhood is started by another millennial guy who has no media training, who just thought, I'm just going to go on and explain my position. Like, your position doesn't mean jack crap to people who are going through this. You needed to have a media team train you, your PR team train you, your legal department train you, and not just going Chris Cuomo saying, oh, if we just explain our point of view, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
No. That's not what happened.
No, Cuomo wore him out. And here's the thing. And if I go in right now and look at my Robinhood, I have a good feeling that I'm still not going to be able to see what's going on with GameStop, which, nope.
So let me ask you, Miguel, since you're looking at the app, what are the other ones that are frozen? Because GameStop is frozen, AMC, I think, is frozen.
AMC is back up. I see
Okay.
AMC. So here, but here's the what part of the reason why Chris Cuomo questioned him. You can't buy any stock right now, but you can sell it.
Yes, they are still letting them sell the stock.
So you can still sell it, but you can't buy it. And so, so anyway, I want to bring in my man. When it comes down to this type of stuff, like I tell y'all all the time, I know what I know, and I know what I need to go do the tag team thing. And when I gotta go call on some folks, let me make sure I got the right. All right, you know what? Nah, this is where we're gonna sign. This is where we're gonna sign my brother here. There you go.
Okay, so I did everything right.
You did.
Like, hope I didn't mess up.
You did everything right. It's real easy on your end. So you done lined up the bed. You all fresh and clean. I see you big time.
Yeah, so I had a photo shoot with your boy today, Mr. Gooch. What's the brother's name?
Okay, all right, brother Chairman Gooch. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Keith Lewis was doing some things, and
okay.
So it's pretty cool.
All right, so let's jump in this conversation because here's what happens when you have your friends in conversations. You get to jump and people don't know what we're talking about right now. This is my man. No, it's fine, brother. This is as some of my mentor tells me. This is my release time when I get up here and I release from the week. All right, so Mel is a good friend of mine. We work together. He's executive director of the Atlanta Black Chambers, but that's not why I have him on right now. He is also a wealth advisor, and he knows this stuff. And so I immediately thought about him when I said GameStop. Man, what the hell is going on? So give us your synopsis on what is going on with GameStop, AMC, and some of these other these other stocks that are out there. And let's be full disclosure. Let's do the disclaimer thing. Get your own advisor. This is not tax advice or legal advice or whatever. Don't blame Mel if something go wrong. If he say something, y'all go buy some stuff and it don't work out. That's the bottom line. All right, Mel. Let's talk. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the stock market and what's going on right now.
So there's a lot to address in this situation. So really, what has happened is it's so extraordinary and ridiculous what happened with this particular stock. And that's why everybody, all the market professionals, CNBC analysts, everybody's talking about it because we haven't seen it happen to this extent before. Mm-hmm. All right. So 10 years ago, this would not have happened. It would have been extremely difficult to pull this off. But with technology, social media, access to information, the retail trader, okay, who is, say, just a guy who is trading stocks. Mm-hmm. Maybe this individual even started some months ago during the pandemic when discovering the stock market became popular. Mm-hmm. So he's trading against the professionals, the institutions, the hedge funds. Mm-hmm. So it appears that some retail traders, just the guys who discovered trading perhaps, and they're pretty smart guys, have decided that they want to trade against the hedge funds. Mm-hmm. So a major hedge fund had a short position on GameStop. So when you have a short position in the market, you want the stock to go down. Mm-hmm. So some guys on a message board started talking amongst each other.
So on Reddit, all of a sudden they said, "We got you, hedge fund guy. You want to short the stock and try to blow money through and take advantage of the little guy."
So we're going to go long, and it just morphed into a thing where all of these folks are going long against this big short position. So when you go long, you're essentially buying the stock, which forces the price to go up.
Right.
So the hedge fund that's short is now under extreme pressure because They don't need it to go up. They need it to go down. If it keeps going up,
right,
that is getting hot in the kitchen.
right.
And they got to get and they got to get out of that position,
Yeah.
or they are going to lose a whole lot of money.
Right.
And that is essentially what has happened with GameStop.
So when you have a situation like GameStop is pretty much dead in the water, right? You're talking about all the games that people want. You can pretty much buy everything online. That business is struggling. When you have all this money floating around, like I was watching CNBC this morning, they said basically, even though you're seeing all this money, GameStop ain't seeing any of this money. Is that correct?
Well, you don't have any money until you do a transaction. Mm-hmm. So the stock can appreciate, but until you sell, that money is just on paper. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you follow suit based on your question.
Yeah.
Is GameStop getting any of this money? If they sold stock, they would. Mm-hmm. I mean, you become wealthy on paper, but you have to do a transaction in order to say, okay, now I've got hard money, because the stock could be worth 500 today, and not even the next day, in the same day, it could be cut in half.
So for example, okay, now let's reverse this. Let's look at the little guy. Little guy put some money on Monday at $120. Just throw that out there, which was around about what it was on Monday. Maybe even cheaper than that. Maybe down in the 70s on Monday. Last time I looked, it was closer to $400. You sell some shares, it moves over into your account, but now they're not letting you cash that money in.
Well, I don't know that you can't cash. I mean, I haven't heard that.
All right, so I just pulled out an anecdote because the little guy's me. Well, so let me tell you, and I want to see how many other people have been able to, because I didn't put a lot of money into it. I was having some fun. Took a little bit, took a few $100s, put some in there to see what would happen.
Now your transaction has to settle though. There is a settlement period. So I don't know if that is,
so that may be the case, because here's the thing. We're gonna have this. There's a lot of people like me who are not serious traders who are now becoming very interested in this game, right? And so you all of a sudden say, interesting. All right, let me go ahead and drop this in, pull this back out. And of course, see, we got a lot of smarty arties. We got a lot of smarty arties to listen to this show. And Alton just let me know exactly what you just said. 2-day settlement period before you can receive cash for a sale. That sound about right to you, Brother Mel?
Yeah, you right. Yeah, you're thinking that they won't let you take your money, but no, this is standard operational procedure that
all right.
Transaction has to settle.
So I'm gonna get so the point is that I think that people like me are driving hedge fund managers crazy, because I ain't even supposed to be in the game far as they're concerned, and I just tripled my money.
Well, it's people like you that market professionals and analysts are concerned about. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just going to say, people like you, and I'm not going to let it happen to you, but you're going to get left holding the bag. This is a very dangerous game.
Oh no. So hear me, and I get it. I'm smarter than the average bear. I'm keeping my eye on it, and I put a stop hold on it to make sure I didn't lose. As long as I made some money, it's like me going to the casino. Once we make our money, we out. So, but I get it. I appreciate having brothers like you in my corner. Let's switch gears. I want to talk to you as someone who manages money. How stressful was this week for you, if at all, with what was going on with the stock market?
Yeah, you just made the point. It really wasn't stressful as having anything to do with GameStop or the several other stocks that are being, I would say, played similar to GameStop, just not to that ridiculous level. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm off into some other things. So I'm just watching it like everybody else, saying, this is ridiculous. This is crazy.
Right.
When you're trading, you're often not associating what you're doing with the fundamentals of a stock, which have to do, which is the same as saying the fundamentals of a company, bottom line numbers and all of that.
Right.
So to be trading and it has nothing to do with fundamentals, that happens all the time.
Uh-huh.
But this is extraordinary and ridiculous. What's going on with GameStop?
So this doesn't affect any mutual funds, pensions. Would anybody put any of this stock in any of those kind of safer instruments? Would they have been in there? Will it affect their value at all?
Generally speaking, no, because GameStop is not a stock that any institution or anything is really dealing with.
Yeah.
Folks that are managing pension funds are nowhere near this.
Got it.
Now the market may be affected because some folks who are, say, trading this stock, they had to move some other money, so they may have sold some other shares.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing,
right,
may be happening.
Right.
But to say that it's had a huge impact on the market, wouldn't go that far.
So kind of give us a bit of a forecast. Do you think what can the federal government or regulators do to stop this from happening with the next stock that the Reddit guys decide they want to go grab and make a bunch of noise with? Is there anything that regulators can do to stop this from happening?
Well, you gotta be careful because sometimes the market takes care of its own issues.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, regulators, elected officials, they want to look out for that average person. We say the little guy. They don't want that individual to lose their life savings or not be able to pay their mortgage because they got caught up in this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is what happens in the market. It just hasn't happened in such an extraordinary, ridiculous way. But this happens every day, and people learn through experience. Mm-hmm. So I personally don't want to see them do much of anything, mm-hmm. Because what's happened here, this is just an example of millennial disruption, mm-hmm. Because most of the folks who have made this situation, if you will, are millennials that have come into the market as traders in the past year. Mm-hmm. And there's some really smart young people. There's a lot of talk about how this is just another form of, say, wanting to stick it to the establishment, or in this case, Wall Street, that has been getting over.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. So some of this, it goes deeper than just what you see on the surface.
Absolutely.
There's a movement here.
Yeah.
And this is not going away.
Yeah.
The playing field has been leveled where traders, average people who are very smart and who have discovered the stock market, maybe, like I said, in the past year, mm-hmm. They're here to stay, most of them. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see stuff like this again, I believe.
Yeah.
I think this is another form of disruption.
Yeah. But I can tell you that the market has my attention more than it ever has, to be honest with you. And and I appreciate you saying what you said, because rest assured, before I make any real plays, I'm going to be talking to some of my homeboys like you to say, oh, this looks good. But it's time to really start taking this stuff, serious, because to hear some of the money that people are making in this space, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But you got to be careful. Obviously, you got to consult people like yourself. I'm joking like crazy right now. I would never make any big moves like that without having a professional to help me and my family protect our long-term wealth.
If I can say two things, Miguel, before you wrap up this segment.
Yeah.
One is we haven't yet had that real downturn in the market, mm-hmm. which would be the first experience for a lot of the newcomers into the game, if you will.
Right.
And so once they experience a real painful downturn in the market,
Right.
some of them will leave and they won't be back.
Yeah.
So we'll just say that those were the pretenders. They were not they were not the true players.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones who manage that and stay, they'll be in the market for the duration. And so
Yeah.
we've got to wait for that to happen because it has not happened yet. And so basically what I'm saying is they haven't been hit across the head. The
Mm-hmm.
market can hit you across the head and take you down. So
Yeah.
we've got to wait for that. And then the other thing I want to leave all of your listeners with is you can be in the market. The way to manage risk is the size of your position. So obviously, you don't want to do anything large with something like GameStop. But if you want to dabble, take just a small, manageable part of your money that if you lost every nickel, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm okay.
Right.
I knew. And so that's how you do that. And
Right.
you learn from experience, but don't go big.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's very dangerous.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming on at the last minute. For some of y'all out there who wanted to win that $1 billion lottery or go to the casino, but then you look at somebody like Mel and say, I ain't doing that stock market stuff. You just say to yourself, Lord have mercy. When are we ever gonna get it? Mel, man, I appreciate you coming on, brother. Thanks a bunch.
Right, thanks for having me, man.
My man. All right.
I enjoyed it.
All right.
I'm fidelity. I know people should use apps and everybody should have and be invited to do stocks and feel empowered. I'm just gonna stick with Fidelity and looking at my husband going, this looks like a really cool stock. Call the Fidelity guy.
Call the Fidelity guy. You know they got apps now, right? So you might be able to like look on.
I get everything that he's saying, and the main thing that caught on to me that he said that was key is that in this day and age, everybody has access to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And on a certain point, is that a good thing or a bad thing? We can say that about stocks. We say that about people's personal lives. We say that about when people have incidents.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we want? Where everybody, the idiots on Reddit, have access to all this type of stuff and can I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and you're right. When it comes down to it, I can go buy a car that can drive 200 miles an hour, but if I don't know how to drive and drive into a wall, it's gonna be some slow singing and flower bringing, because I didn't know what I was doing. Like I told Mel, I played it exactly like you said. It's a little bit of money. If I lost it, wasn't gonna be a big deal, but it's always a big deal because I made sure I put a stop loss. All this stuff, and I say it again, don't take any stock advice from me. I'm still learning. Don't take any stock advice from her. She don't even know what the app is to even look at her Fidelity account. Make sure you guys find a professional like Mel. Make sure you find or just read it. The information that is out there. But what I love about this situation is that, man, oh man, are they sticking it to those hedge fund guys who's sitting back, pouring champagne, like water, and now they wondering like what the hell is going on because they trying to figure out why this little raggedy video game shop is causing them so much headaches, and Ace and all these other ones.
Yeah, but
Bed Bath and Beyond, yeah.
Okay, see now let's look at this at the bigger picture.
Uh-huh.
No matter what they do with the stock,
yeah,
GameStop is not coming back to fruition. Like what's the goal here? GameStop is not coming back. AMC will come back eventually.
AMC will. I have a feeling AMC will come back in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not as adverse to that. But GameStop, nah. All right, let's move on. So this story has been very interesting, and it kind of it's kind of twofold. Matter of fact, I'm gonna reverse this because it started off last weekend with this. So it started off last weekend with this. This is Jonathan Capehart. He got a new show Saturday morning. Joy Ann Reid, as we know, who has moved on to prime time a couple of months ago, and now they've got a thing where it's between Jonathan Capehart and Tiffany Cross. They're doing the Saturday morning show. And let me just tell you my story. For people who don't know, this is Jonathan Capehart, and he decided, and I don't have a video here, so don't wait for it. He decided that he was going to ski wee on the Sunday morning shows. And let me just tell you that when he did, I was in another room. My wife was in the kitchen, and all I heard was I heard it stop because she paused it. So and she said, "Did he just?" I said, "He sure did."
Sure did.
He sure did. So for people who don't know, I guess everybody knows now, our vice president, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Same sorority my wife is a member of. A lot of accomplished, beautiful women.
A lot of my family members, like, it's AKA life.
So here's the thing. It's a sorority, which means it's for women, and he ain't no woman. So that's the first thing that tells you, okay. And there's certain things, everybody has certain things that we all do. You know, Kappas, we do our thing. Omegas do their thing. AKAs, Deltas, everybody just lets everybody know that's who they are. Once he ski-weed, Twitter and Facebook and everywhere went crazy. What did you see on your thread and in your people?
Everybody kept warning that Joe Biden was going to be too old and too white and not know when he was going to do it. No one in a million years thought the black guy who should know better was going to do it. Like, I thought Joe Biden was going to be the one to come out with a pink and green sweater on, a cardigan or a tie, and be like, ski wee. I'm not going to do it the way that the ladies do it. I'm going to say ski wee.
Okay. I was okay. I was okay.
I know better. I thought Joe Biden was to be like, hey, ski wee, and do it, and he didn't. But then we got Jonathan doing it, and I don't even think people know this. Here's a grand explanation, and a lot of our listeners are black, so this is not a big deal.
Yeah.
But black fraternity and sororities are not like the white ones. Like, my husband is in a white fraternity.
Okay.
And I'm like, you're adorable. Look at the little letters on your shirt. That's cute.
Why are you dish?
His fraternity doesn't really mean a lot. It's purple and gray and black. I don't know.
You don't know what it is. Okay.
The other day, his uncle comes to the house, and his uncle was there working on the car outside, and it's cold. So he gave his uncle his frat sweatshirt. He's like, yeah, just throw this on. I was like, see, that's where the difference is.
That's where the difference is.
Are not like that.
That's no.
The colors you can get away. When we're pink and green, no one's gonna make a big deal out of that. But if your pink and green has the number 08 on it, and you're not an AKA, we now have a problem.
We have a problem.
Now 1908 on it, we now have a bigger
problem. We have a problem. It's the same problem.
If you're wearing a red and white sweater, no one cares. But if it has an 11 in the middle of it, or 1911 in the middle of it, we have a massive problem. And I thought Jonathan would know this. I know Joy knew this.
Of course, Joy knew this. Joy, I don't know why I think Joy's a Delta. I could be wrong. But I don't know where he thought he could get away with this. Because even when he did it, he kind of leaned back and was so proud to say it. And I don't know if I don't know where he went to school. I don't know where he grew up. My understanding,
He had to go to a white school. There's no way on God's green earth he went to a school. Even Florida State knows better, and that's a white school, but they half and half almost.
Yeah, they right there across the street from FAMU. They know better. Yeah.
He had to go to like an Ivy League white school where the black people were off to the side. Like, there's no way he.
I know too many black Ivy Leaguers. I just this to me, it's like, do you not have any black women producers on the set? I don't understand what you were thinking, bruh. Like, when you wrote this, because somebody typed that in the teleprompter. Somebody read that and was like, this is a great idea. How about you?
A white person put it in. And I bet you there are black. I bet you what happened was he probably said it, thought it was going to be cute to one of the black staffers. And they probably said, I really don't think you should do that. And he's like, oh, no, it'll be fine. But they're beneath him as far as the hierarchy goes. So they're just like, all right. And all the black people sat out to the side and said, watch what he about to do. What he about to do? He did it, and they were just like, no.
Yeah. So what was she thinking?
This is a whole different bag of worms.
Okay, so for people who don't know about Whoopi Goldberg on the View this week, and it's kind of in there. You can see it a little bit. She has a Prince Hall Masons sweater on. Now, for people who don't know what Prince Hall Masons, there's some brother like I got some Kappa brothers who are also Masons. I got my brothers who, shout out to my man Dre Ross, and he's a Mason, served in the military. He's a Mason. I got some other brothers who are Masons as well. When I saw this, once again, now I don't know Mason culture as much, so I just started. That's one of these moments where I kind of stepped back and I started to watch and then all of a sudden it was, well, you jump in because somebody said it's actually sometimes women can be Masons, or no, men can be Eastern Stars, men can be Eastern Stars, but women can't be Masons. Yeah, I don't know.
It's very, very rare to find a male Eastern Star. I just want to point that out. Mm-hmm. So if you want to compare it to something, has anybody ever seen the back in the day photos of like the Nation of Islam church where the women are all wearing white on one side and the men are wearing their tuxes or their suits with the bow ties? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what the Mason situation looks like. Mm-hmm. So men are Masons, and it's almost the same kind of pledging process as a fraternity.
Oh yeah, I know that much. Yeah.
Except for they do a lot of activity. It's a longer history than a lot of fraternities are. And then their stuff is just as sacred as fraternities are.
Absolutely.
The only thing is that in public knowledge, like again, there are white Freemasons. There are white Masons.
There's a different, it's the Prince Hall or the black ones, and and I forget what the other side, the white Masons, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I think I can't think of the name of it right now, but what Whoopi had on was a black Prince Hall Mason cardigan.
Yeah.
And I get her not knowing. If I worked on the staff, I mean, I would have said something because I know because my ex was 7 years old. But I don't think anybody really knew. How many people?
Well, here's I've heard different stories. I heard that it's actually her brother's sweater that she wore, that she got permission from the lodge to wear it. And my other Masonic friends were like, that lodge don't speak for all of us. You know what I mean? And I look at that, and at that point, it's just like other fraternities. It's just like a noob. My wife ain't walking out of here with one of my jackets or sweaters. That's just not
even to walk to the garbage can.
No. That's and it's understood. She's an AKA. I'm a Kappa. We don't do that, right? And I just and the reason why I titled this segment self-appropriation, because we talk all this stuff about, how other folks are appropriating black culture. And then you look at this situation between these two.
No.
What no? What no?
No.
What
I'm not
no?
letting you put it in the cultural appropriation bucket or even adjacent. It's not
Why?
like that.
Why? Tell me why. Because this is cultural appropriation. It was. I want. They are not. She is not a Mason. He is not an AKA. You're fronting about you're fronting. This is not who you are. Oh, you done got hot. You done got hot flash. Drop some comments. Anybody got something to say about this? Drop it in the. Drop some comments. I want to hear what the people. This is cultural appropriation.
Not cultural appropriation. You know why it's not cultural appropriation?
Please tell me.
I truly do not believe. I think what's going on right now with a lot of black people is everybody just too damn excited that Trump is gone, and they're so excited about having a black woman in the White House who's real black and is in a sorority, and she went to an HBCU and she gets it, and she's this and that. People are just too excited, and they're trying to express their blackness in any way they possibly can. It doesn't matter. She could have been a member of the Elephant Society of Rainbows, and people would have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get that sweater. That's so cool." It's different.
It's not.
You're
not.
Rude.
It's not. It's not. It just is. And this is one of them moments where, because you're not in a sorority, you don't understand this culture.
Don't do that.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
That's real. Because I've been to an HBCU. I have cousins to AKA. I know the importance. When you went through your thing,
my thing,
when you went through your thing, I was around. I know the importance of these things, And I know
Oh,
that
yeah. I'm not discounting that you know the importance.
I know
I think
that they're extremely sacred.
Yeah.
But I am not. I'm thinking that like Jonathan and Whoopi, they're not doing like okay. When people do cultural appropriation, like the girl Hilaria Baldwin, who lied about being Spanish. Okay, there's a girl who is married to Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin's wife has been lying about being Spanish for the past decade. That's cultural appropriation. For years, she has put on a fake accent. She faked like she couldn't speak, I don't know how to pronounce a cucumber. What is this word? She did this whole thing for years, and people finally said, wait a minute, I went to high school with you. You weren't born in Spain. Like, we went to high school together. You're from Boston. Your name is Hillary. You're like, what are you talking about? That to me is, or Rachel Dolezal, who went around and pretended to be black for years. Like, oh, I'm black. Oh, I'm part of the Pan-African diaspora, whatever that is. Yeah. And she wasn't. That's cultural appropriation. What these two people did was just got overhyped about something they don't truly understand. And as black people, instead of jumping on them to say, yo, listen, you may not have gone to an HBCU, you may not have been in a sorority or fraternity, but this is why they wear this. This is why it's important. They paid a lot of money to wear it and went through a lot of pain and butt whooping to wear it. So that's their thing.
Kappa Alpha Psi is a non-hazing fraternity.
I'm not doing this with you. You know what I meant. You're not agreeing with my society.
No, I'm sorry. That's an inside joke because we just have to make sure we say that to make sure that everyone knows that Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated is a non-hazing fraternity. So
the Divine Nine are all
non-hazing organizations, at least since the 1990s. All right, but so
do you get my point?
I get your point. I do get your point. But culturally, this was a major. And here's a funny thing. I even saw a video online where Diddy had his pinky up talking about ski wee, and he had on his pink sweater with his green Gucci shoes. And I'm just like, you went to Howard, dude. Stop. You know better than that.
He know better.
You know, but I can't believe that Jonathan Capehart don't know better. He's been working in the media, lived in D.C. for the last 25 years. You can't tell me he ain't came across any AKAs in the city of D.C. in all the years I know he's been working in D.C. 25 years. He tried it.
Oh, he's gay. I didn't know he was gay.
You didn't know he was gay? Yeah. He's married to a white guy.
I be hoping that at least, okay, here's another thing, black gay men. Can y'all at least marry other black gay men? That's just a thing. We would really appreciate that. Like, can you marry other black? Because Don Lemon's married to a white guy too. Let's stop this.
I'm not having that conversation with you. I am not.
That's right. In my head.
I'm not. All right. So anyway, that was fun.
Okay, in Jonathan's defense, he went to St. Benedict's Preparatory School and then received a BA in political science from Carleton College.
Where's Carleton College?
Now we gotta look at where Carleton College is. Minnesota?
Where's he from? Wikipedia knows it all. Where's he from?
No, I'm at Wikipedia right now. He went to Carleton College. He's from Hazlitt, New Jersey.
He's from Jersey. He's from Jersey. Yeah, exactly. He know AKAs, Deltas, Zetas. He know them all. He tried it.
But if you're gay and married to a white man and he went to Carleton College, how would you know any of this stuff? I'm giving Jonathan the benefit of the doubt, and I'm giving a pass to Wendy. Now we see Diddy has no excuse. Absolutely.
Oh, hold on, no. You're not gonna stay on Diddy's neck and talk about Whoopi, who been black all her life, like she ain't know the difference. Whoopi know the difference. She knew because the Masons are more far. Go ahead.
But did she know that Masons have the same rules as fraternities and sororities?
Of course she does. Especially if the story is true that this is her brother's sweater and she asked permission. Now,
that's the story that I heard. That's not even the story in her.
So what is the story you heard? Because I could be wrong. My story, what I'm hearing, it's all internet fodder now. What did you hear?
The story that I heard, which sounds real stupid. Apparently, she saw the sweater online, told her stylist, I really like this sweater. Can you please buy the sweater for me? She bought the sweater, wore the sweater. That is the story she said on The View. That's the quote that I saw. She said, hey, guys, I saw this sweater. I really liked it, told my stylist to buy it. I apologize. I wasn't trying to offend anybody. I'm never wearing the sweater ever again. And that was that. So
I would have left. I wish I wish you would have left it, let it be. I wish you would have let it be that somebody at the lodge let her get away with it because now it's worse.
I don't
If your stylist told you I don't. All right, let's move on. Let's move on because Whoopi and Jonathan K. Ford. Did you jump at me like I was supposed to be scared? Everybody scared of you? Everybody scared of you?
I was saying, I don't know. And I feel like we're going to have this conversation again. I feel like it's going to be somebody else.
I hope
Black.
not.
It's going to be Joe. It's going to be Joe.
No, Joe. No. They didn't already had that. Kamala's already had that conversation with Joe. Like Joe at the inauguration. You see, he ain't do it at the inauguration. Wasn't nobody there because the fools acted a fool on the 6th of January, so nobody was there. But she already had that conversation. Joe, when they ski weed, you just sit there with your hands and you nod.
I am low-key excited about it. This is going to sound awful, guys, but I'm the awful girl. I'm glad that the inauguration was not COVID related, was COVID cut off and COVID was around.
Okay.
Imagine 9,000 AKAs descend on DC. They play set it off. Now we have a whole line of black women just getting it.
I would have loved that. Oh, I would have loved that. I'd have loved that.
Then we have all the white people just like, oh, I think it's a line dance. And they try to get it. Now we got fights happening. Now we got people screaming. Now we got people
I was so looking forward to that. I was so looking forward to that experience, but it didn't happen. Hopefully in the next couple of years when they get reelected, we'll have that experience because I was so looking forward to all the AKs descending. I was looking forward to the entire D9 community turning it into the Greek picnic political style. That's what I was looking forward to. Lord have mercy, that would have been fun. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about I was watching my man Will Smith. Will Smith is somebody I have a lot of respect for some different reasons. I think Will is real dope, and people don't realize how dope Will is. But these people on this screen, let me see if I can make this a little bit better. Let me see if I can make it. There we go. A little bit better. All right. So you got Jazzy Jeff, who is one of my favorite DJs, and I just man, when I tell you I was vibing out some Jazzy Jeff today. He got this thing. He goes live on YouTube or whatever, and he mixing incredible. Right next to him is Charlie Mack. If anybody you know any old Will Smith, Fresh Prince, all that, you know, Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince records, they always talk about Charlie Mack first out the limo. He was their security. Now, I'm not going to play this whole, obviously, it was a 2-hour conversation. It was so entertaining to hear them tell stories about how they grew up on the road and all this type of stuff. But I wanted to play this segment because Will is dropping some bombs about entrepreneurship and where we are in this world. Because we know Will Smith has always been portrayed as being the pretty boy. He's the clean guy. He was running in circles back in the 80s and 90s that a lot of the hip-hop artists could not get into. But he dropped a bomb right now about entrepreneurship and particularly opportunities that are coming for black folks. I want to let me know if you can hear this, Kia. Should be here. Can you hear it? Oh, no. Man, it better not do that to me. All right, it was playing fine earlier. I want y'all to hear this. Let me make sure to see if I can do a little adjustment because I definitely want you guys to hear this.
While he is doing that, Will Smith has been putting out a lot of content and just really making the best out of his I'm not making movies, so I'm just going to do content and have a great time on Instagram with Jason Derulo.
Well, there's a lot of opportunity doing that. When you talk about, people are making so much money right now online.
There we go.
This is a really critical concept, right? And, the African American plight, for the first time in world history, is being acknowledged globally, right? There is more opportunity that is going to blossom over the next year and a half for African American entrepreneurs and for
Kia, you hearing this?
Yep, I can hear it.
The world has recognized our plight, right? And there's going to be so many opportunities and possibilities and people that want to help. And where our minds potentially have been so habituated to enemy mindset that we won't be able to recognize the new friends we have. You know, and it's a really, really critical time for us as a community to recognize the inner blocks that we may have to our progress in the moment that a lot of the outer blocks have been moved away in an unprecedented way. You know, so this is you know, it's one of the reasons I was excited about doing this conversation with you now. I think you know, you represent a very powerful example of, you know, making that transition from, you know, having to do what you got to do to survive to making your way into learning how to play the game and how to use the the system and how to seize the tiny little cracks when the door opens. You know, you learn how to get your foot through that door when the tiniest crack opens up, and you never let it close again. Well, you know, so with that being said,
I hope everybody really heard that. I know a lot of people watch this who are watching this video right now. You know, you guys are not the average, and a lot of you business owners, and you're getting things done. But this is the conversation, and we'll drop this in the comments somewhere if you wanna look at this whole video. Because first of all, it was hilarious to see the conversations that they were having. It really was funny, but it was a genuine relationship. Charlie Mack, earlier in the video, he talks about how he was a drug dealer. He was a drug dealer in Philadelphia back in the 1980s. And Jeff and Will basically said, you're not going to make the money that you're making on the streets, but you're going to see the world. And they talked about bottom line is, as long as you ride with us, you're going to see the world. And Jeff talked about how, you know, he and Will met and how, you know, it came down to almost the same conversation. And paraphrasing, he said, now it's 36 years later and we're still doing this. There's something to be said about running with people that you trust, right? When it comes down to it, anytime I do something like this, who do I call first? You. Bottom line, because this is a journey that you got to go on with the right people, right? Yeah. And I'm telling you, man, and the point that I don't want y'all to miss, he's right. I'm seeing some opportunities that's coming for African Americans that you know, there's some people who feeling real guilt right now who have the opportunity to open up some doors, and I'm hoping you're going to take advantage of those opportunities. But go ahead, sis. I know you might want to jump in.
White guilt is in full effect. I mean, I know that sounds really corny, but it's true. I'm someone who has been working from home for years, and I'm noticing now I'm getting reached out to by more brands and more companies saying, hey, you know, we know you work for so and so, but we heard you're really good. Would you be considering to come to our company and help us out and work for us? We're looking for great people like you. And my whole thing is, I've been around this entire time. You knew I was here, and now all of a sudden I'm this magical unicorn that you guys want to hire. Like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And I definitely have turned them down, but I'm hoping there's other African American people out there who are looking at the opportunity where you're trying to be an entrepreneur, or if you're just trying to look for a better job. Mm-hmm. They are more willing to hire African Americans because they know the talent is out there. They're more willing to loan you money for your business. They're more willing to put you in franchise opportunities. Like the guest we had last week with the Bentley dealerships, there's more opportunities like that. Mm-hmm. Sid, we just have to be more open to walking through these doors and stop being so skeptical that, oh, well, they're going to let me in and this is going to happen.
Well, and here's the other thing. I was on Akintunde's show a couple weeks ago, and I said to him on his show to his audience, stop looking at white people as a monolith. They're not.
Yes.
All white people are not bad. All white people are not white supremacists. All white people do not mean you harm. Sometimes they just honestly don't know. sometimes they you know, and don't get me wrong, there's some stuff that even the ones who are liberal and whatever, and you know, there's definitely racism and issues and prejudices in the liberal world. But go in there, put your best foot forward. To your point, if you may not want to leave your entrepreneurial journey, but you may say to that same person, okay, I'm really not looking for employment right now, but I would be interested in some contract work, right?
Yeah,
if you got some
that's
extra, right? You got some things out there. I'd be happy to do it for you. No doubt. You want me to buy some media for you? Let me see what your budget is, and I'll take care of it, and all good. This is an opportunity right now. There's a lot of people. I'm hearing people in the diversity and inclusion space, hearing people that's basically telling these recruiters, stop bringing me the same white guys for every job. We want to
Yeah.
see more diversity and opportunity for people.
Let me tell you something. I had to hire somebody. Shout out to Sam Bell. PPC Boutique is another agency that I partner with. He wanted me to hire a project manager. He's like, well, so we don't have to do it. We'll go to a hiring agency. The people they sent us, I was like, can y'all just sent the same person and photocopy like 3 times? This is not what we're looking for. We don't want the white guy who, oh, I'm also working on my startup, but I also want to work for your agency. Oh, well, I spent my summers in Prague and I went to FSU and my parents do that. No, that is not what we are looking for. Like America, I feel like it's over that kid. America is over the Matt Gaetz style of person.
Yeah, and the Matt Gaetz style of person are real upset about that right now. Well, you know, you guys have a 200 and some odd year head start, supposedly, because supposedly everybody was free, you know, 150 years ago. You know, even though black folks, there's still people who are alive today who didn't have the right to vote in their lifetime. But different conversation. So just you know, one thing, like I said, what Will Smith, man, that brother was just dropping some bombs right there. I hope you got it. I want you to make sure that you go and you search and find this. This is and I'll drop it in the comments after we get off the air, so you guys can check it out, because the whole conversation was dope. To hear his perspective as an entrepreneur, because he's been an entrepreneur in this space now since he was 16, 17 years old.
For a very long time. And I don't, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that Jazzy Jeff gets the flowers he deserves? Because I don't.
Sure he does. I don't think Jeff really wants to be. Jeff does not have the personality to want to be out front. And but I still listen to Jeff. He drops albums. He's been producing great content on the back end for years. He's, to me, the DJ's DJ. For people who don't really understand DJ and they understand Jazzy Jeff was you know, he is the epitome of a great DJ. So he you know, my thing is, what I love about that situation is that when Will decides he wants to do music, which doesn't happen a lot, but when he does do music, he still goes back and he gets Jeff. That's his man. And that's the part I never understand about people in the entertainment space. This whole nonsense going on right now with Salt and Pepper and Spinderella being kicked to the side when she was with your group for 35 years, and all of a sudden she's no longer a part of your group and she didn't really help you build your group. Get out of here. So, you know.
Okay, I know we're on the Will Smith subject, but that made me so mad. I was so disappointed in that whole situation, acting like that woman did not exist and wasn't helpful, because on one of their songs she has like, I think on What a Man, she has like the best verse on the song.
So here's the thing. From this out, there's 2 albums that come to my mind, Kia, that the people on the album cover were not the group. It was the first Salt and Pepper album and the first Guy album. The first Salt and Pepper album had another girl who was a DJ. I still don't know what her name was, because by the time the album came out, Spinderella was a DJ. She was on the album cover, but Spinderella was a DJ. The first Guy album, there was a guy on the album cover who left the group once the album dropped, and he's on the cover, but he never was in the group, and Aaron Hall's brother. Point is, that's going back to 1986. That's 35 years ago. You're going to tell me after all this time, last year you decided Spinderella was not going to be a key member of your group? That's crazy. And I just, you know, you let the money, and here's the way the industry is today. There's so many different ways that you can make money outside of old record sales, because a lot of people are making money off record sales. They're making money off touring and TV shows and products and a whole lot of different things, influence that they have. And it's just sad to see that. And Lord knows there's nothing that drives me to Lifetime to watch any biopics. I don't want to see no Aaliyah. I don't want to see no Wendy Williams. I don't want to see no Salt and Pepper. I don't want to see no Whitney Houston. None of that on Lifetime. It's terrible.
That's another conversation we need to have. Black icons, stop going to Lifetime. VH1 is the only one that does these biopics right. VH1 and BET, it seems like, are the only ones who do this right. Think about it. VH1 had TLC, and that whole thing was on point.
Was that VH? Yeah, it was VH1. Yeah,
it was VH1. That was on point. Then New Edition was on BET.
New Edition was good. But New Edition, I was going to say, but New Edition produced it. But I believe that Salt and Pepper, but not Spinderella, produced this stuff on Lifetime too. Yeah.
But let's think about, I mean, they haven't done anybody's biopic right. Even the white people. They did Anna Nicole wrong. They done did Whitney wrong. They about to do a couple people wrong. I don't want to watch the Wendy Williams one on Saturday. I'm going to watch it, but I don't want to watch it. I'm not eager.
What's the chances I'm gonna watch Wendy Williams?
You're not gonna watch it. You're just gonna ask me like, how was it?
you know how I feel about Wendy Williams. You know Gundaga well. It's so
you know on Thursday and said she had a one-night stand with Method Man. After I can't stand her now.
So Dijon said that in the biopic, it said they had 3 different DJs in Salt and Pepper. I know one. Spinderella, going all the way back to 1986. Spinderella.
She was on the album covers with them.
Of course, she was there. There was nobody else until recently. So all this about 3, I haven't seen it. The wigs were so bad in the promos that I was just like, I don't even think I want to see it. It just looked that bad. Maybe I'll get bored enough to check them out because they are part of our icon. Because Salt and Pepper, man, Salt and Pepper is a part of the lexicon of our culture. You know, they made some amazing music over the years. Back in the day, they were the girl anthem before a lot. Yeah. And somebody said Spinderella was yes. Spinderella was the second DJ. But when I say second, I mean half. By the time they released the first album, she was their DJ. They had one DJ for like the first couple singles, and by the time the album came out, if I remember correctly, the first album had some other girl on the cover who I couldn't name her if you put a gun to my head, but Spinderella was already the DJ. So anyway, it's just a shame. You know, I'm glad to see so many more artists. As much as I'm not a big fan of a lot of the new art, here I am, the old man get off my lawn, old man. I don't like a lot of music that comes out today, but the fact that they control their own. You got the church finger up?
Latoya Hanson was the other DJ.
Did my crickets come through? Did they come through? Hold on, let me see. Hold on.
The birds.
Did they come through?
Yes, they came through. All right, next topic.
All right, let's move on. I'm so mad I couldn't hear it. I got to figure that out over here. Why I couldn't hear the birds? All right, so real quick before we get on to the last topic, social check-in. I want you to pull up. This is gonna be a new segment of the show. Let's talk about what is going on on your social media. What conversations are people wilding out about on your social media? Let me start with mine while you pulling yours up. And this is something you probably can relate to.
I told you what was on my timeline today, and I was confused and disheartened, and I have no idea what's happening.
All right, let's start with yours. Go ahead.
T.I. and Tiny are sexual assault. They're being accused of sexual assault, and it's up to like 30 girls who are accusing them of sexual assault, and not some minor stuff. Well, yeah. Minor is a really horrible word to use, but
yes, it
like
is.
Jeffrey Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
Some R. Kelly type of accusations.
Yeah.
And their friend Shekinah, who thought they were coming she was coming to their rescue in the comments, basically said, well, weren't you helping them recruit? Y'all were helping them recruit the girls. So they were recruiting girls. That didn't help their situation. You just said they're recruiting girls. Like it's a horrible story. And if this is true, there's no coming back from them from this.
Well, I'm seeing now that T.I. has responded. I haven't seen it yet. I see somebody said he responded to it on Instagram, so I will check it out after the show to see what's going on with this. But so here's a long and short of it is that there's a woman, and I saw her Instagram story where she had story after story after story of people who, I guess, text messages either sent to her or she got access to them, of women saying, "Oh yeah, this is true. They paid me $3,000 to come to this party. They made me do drugs and blah, 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 blah." And it was, like you said, it's supposedly up to 30 people now. It's whew, Lord knows if this is true, this is going to get real ugly real quick, with T.I. and Tiny.
It just breaks my heart that we have to deal with another Black person who's so pro Black people, and this is what you do to Black women. I mean, honestly, I don't know if a lot of the women are Black or if they're mixed. It doesn't matter, but still, like, this is so disgusting. Why do it seems like Black men, not all of them, but a large portion of them, get famous, forget they have Black mothers or mothers and sisters, and turn into these disgusting people. And not every famous Black guy is abusing women, but they do things like you get in a relationship and now you're cheating nonstop. Like, what's happening? Like, why is that like that? Why are you grinning at me?
Because I'm grinning at you because I'm letting you have your moment right now. It's something that I don't agree with. I don't think that is, T.I. is one. And here's the other thing that you glossed over. The stories everywhere that we're reading is that the ringleader is Tiny.
Yes, that's true. You're right. That Tiny, honestly, everybody has said that Tiny is the major aggressor,
right,
in a situation, telling them they need to take the drugs, shut the F up, you want to be here. It's that whole thing. So yes.
So we don't know. This could be, I'm just always looking at the positive side, until you show me otherwise. But this doesn't look good. This does not look good. If this is, but I can't say that when I heard this story, my immediate visceral response was, "Nah, man." That wasn't my first response.
That was mine. My first response was, "What the H? Are you serious? This can't be true. This is insane. This doesn't make any sense." And the more you hear, the more you're just like, I guess it's true.
Well, it's just one of those. I don't know if it's true. What my point is that I'm making is that being in this city, I live here in Atlanta, and I don't know T.I. I run across him in different places, whatever. But he has a very strong personality. And the drug culture right now is crazy with these millennials and younger. It's just crazy right now. So I don't know, man. I just look at this thing and it's just like, if this is like you said, he has been very active in the social community, political community in Atlanta. Doing a lot of philanthropic work.
Yes.
He actually lives, as far as I know, he and his family live here in Henry County, where I live, down south of the city. So look it up yourself, guys. Go on Instagram. Looks like I just is showing my screen right now. Looks like he responded on Instagram, and I'll check it out after the fact if anybody has any insight on that. I would play it, but something, my little system audio thing ain't working, but we'll figure that out. All right, so another man, the ancestors are calling people home, man. The ancestors are calling people home. So
before we go to that, what's on your timeline, Miguel?
Oh, we forgot about my timeline. So yeah, and let's do this because this is a little bit more fun before, and this will resonate with you because you are a FAMU rattler.
I am.
You're going to lean back. Lean back. You familiar with Neck, the old Cameo song, Talking Out the Side of Your Neck, and how much all the bands love to play it. It's a Black college anthem. So there's a story that keeps going around that the first school to play Neck was Norfolk State, my college. And Lord knows the Spartan Legion, behold the green and gold, can play Neck. No question. And for white folks, y'all just stay with us.
Stay with us for a few more minutes.
Stay with us, because now some of y'all, Ohio State and LSU, y'all are playing Neck too. Dun, talking out the side of that. Dun, 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 dun. So that's the horn sound. So Texas Southern, when I tell you this ended up being, I bet if I go back right now and look for it, it's probably about 800 comments. Texas Southern, swear for God, and that they played it first. And then your FAMU Rattlers, that's when the whole band conversation comes and nobody can touch them. What are y'all's band called? Is it the Marching 100, I think is y'all's band? What is the FAMU's band?
100, yeah.
Marching 100.
The
And
Marching 100.
and so then there's just this smugness about the South and y'all's bands. And I just be honest with you, it's annoying. It's annoying.
I'm sorry that facts bother you. Like, I don't know what you want me to do with that.
Hold on. First of all, yeah, y'all got some decent bands down south. Hey, first of all, let's understand. Let's understand something. Let's understand something. FAMU was in the MEAC for 20 years, I believe, give or take. So we saw FAMU every year, and the Spartan Legion wasn't like getting blown off the field when. Now, the Spartan football team was getting blown off the field by FAMU most of the time when I was calling games. But when it came down to the Spartan band, they wasn't, they was hanging in there. I feel a little bit of, what are you doing? You filing your nails now?
Filing my nails. I am filing my nails. I will go with you for a lot of stuff. Southern marching bands will always be better than the northern ones. This is how life is. It's not going to change. We can go back and forth. You can say whatever you want. It doesn't change facts. So if you want to pull the whole QAnon band theory on me, that's fine.
Thank you. Who's that? I should have waited to their name, Paul. That's Dijon. NSU Spartan Legion Band is the bomb. Now ain't no thinking. I know the musicianship of the NSU Spartan Legion.
Has your band gone to the Grammys before?
I don't know where our band is going. That's a marketing issue. It ain't a talent issue.
Has your band gone to the Super Bowl to perform?
That's not the point. That's not the point.
Oscars before.
What?
I feel like three of those are no. Therefore, this conversation is done. Let's move to the in memoriam section of this show.
All right. What before we move on to the next section, the last portion of the show, the Spartan Legion is the bomb. All right, let's move on. So I didn't have a graphic up for the second because we just got another announcement that for basketball fans. So here's what we do know. Let's start off with Cicely Tyson. Cicely Tyson is going home, and I didn't, it's always something, man, when you're doing it all yourself. Cicely Tyson is going home to the Lord. And right after she dropped a book, my understanding is she dropped her 96 years, and she dropped her memoirs, I think, very recently. And the Queen Mother has gone on to the Lord. This has been. Last week it was Hank Aaron, Cicely Tyson. We've lost John Lewis. We've lost C.T. Vivian. These are names that if you guys don't know who these are, and I'm hoping most people, at least if you're a Gen X, you know everybody I just named. But if you don't, please do your research on the people we've lost in the last 12 months. These people have been.
Here's a problem with Cicely Tyson passing away. As a black woman, and I'm not gonna let my hormones get the best of me and cry. But we honestly, I feel like as black people, thought Cicely Tyson was gonna live forever because she's never looked frail. She's never looked broken. Even when they try to make her look frail in movies, we're like, we just saw her on the red carpet. That is not how she's looking on her everyday life.
Right.
She looks like the picture that you have on the screen is how she's for the past 20 years. She's looked like this.
This woman right here could be 60. What you're looking at on this screen. Skin flawless. She played some amazing roles over the years, going all the way back to the Lord knows how far does her career go back? It's got to be going back to the 1950s or 60s.
Her first movie was in 1956.
It is 2021, people. Her first movie was 1956,
and her last film was in 2020. And that was in A Fall from Grace, and we all remember A Fall from Grace. But that was her last movie.
And that's something I didn't get a chance to read the whole tribute from Tyler Perry, but Tyler Perry pretty much revived her career because he put her almost in every one of his movies over the course of the last 10 or 15 years, just out of the respect.
is that what revived her career? Because a lot of people saying her career got revived when she was showing up as the mother of Annalise Keating in How to Get Away with
No,
Murder.
she was doing movies with Tyler Perry before that.
Okay.
She's been in quite a few Tyler Perry movies as the elder in his movies. But that role when she played the mother on How to Get Away with Murder, I don't know why immediately I went to Scandal for some reason. But yeah, when she was playing the mother on How to Get Away with Murder, that was great, and that prompts me to want to go see what Viola Davis has to say. But R.I.P.
Viola
to
Davis is gonna break your heart. If you read it, you're gonna cry. I read it and I was
yeah.
like, okay, I gotta close this because she's in a couple of episodes. She just didn't do one episode in How to Get Away with Murder. She was in a couple of those episodes as her mom, and she was an amazing actress. She was an amazing actress. She didn't have any children. She was married to Miles Davis from 1981 to 1988. But I feel like if you ever want to look at a Black actress who lived a fulfilling life of not only of having the career she wanted, but then sharing all this wisdom with so many other Black actresses and actors behind her. I mean, she's epic, and she will 1,000% be missed. And I feel like we should have been prepared for this more because she was 96, but I don't think anybody was really prepared for her to pass away. I wasn't.
Here's a funny thing that you just said, that she was 96 years old. She is twice my age. When I think about that, I always sometimes in transparency moment, there's always sometimes where I kind of have those moments where you're just like, man, should be doing so much more with my life. Man, it's like I'm on the downside of my life, my career. This woman is twice my age. She's lived my life twice and just passed away. If that doesn't motivate you, if the fact that Morgan Freeman didn't start as an actor until he was in his early 40s doesn't motivate you, guys, we got a whole long life to live. But when it's all said and done, RIP to the elder, Cicely Tyson. We also lost someone, I just got this about an hour ago, this is why the graphic wasn't created, John Chaney. John Chaney was the basketball coach at Temple University in Philadelphia for a long time, and he put a lot of great ball players in the league and just created a lot of great men. He died at age 89. He will forever be remembered as one time he wanted to choke John Calipari, who's now the coach of Kentucky, and he's won a lot of championships there when he was at the University of Massachusetts. But John Calipari was a great man, great basketball coach, but I tell you, man, it's just like, it's almost like these elders are getting tired. It's like, okay, this world is crazy. This COVID is for basketball fans. If you watch NBA TV, Sekou Smith, who was my age, both born in 1972, he passed away from COVID. So guys, we got to pay attention.
Tired, or is like, wait, I don't know about the other guy you just said, because he was young. That doesn't make any sense. Dying from COVID is crazy. But with someone like Cicely, was she tired and ready to go, or is she more like, my work is done, I have passed on my wisdom, I have written a book, it is documented, I'm ready, guys.
It could be, it could be. I always tell the story about my grandmother. When she passed away, she lived her whole life in Hampton until the last year of her life. She moved out to Arizona with my dad, spent the last year of her life with my dad. And funny that I'm on the radio right now because I'm doing this show. But I was doing radio, Norfolk State University, WNSB. I used to do a Saturday morning show, NSU Sports Talk, every Saturday morning when I was there, and a few years when I was out. And I'd never forget, I was doing my show, I did my open, and as soon as I went to commercial break, my phone rang. And it was my dad to tell me that my grandma had passed away. And my grandmother was just she never wanted to impede any of my progress. She always was 100% behind me, pushing me. And even in that moment, instead of it being a situation where on the air I get this information, it was almost as soon as I went to commercial, my phone rang. And this wasn't the day of the internet where my dad was listening to or watching me online right now. People can watch me around the world right now. He wasn't. It was a FM radio station. So it wasn't like he was listening. Okay, Miguel, he's on a break. Now I'm going to call him. I always to this day believe my grandmother said, okay, Miguel, all right, let me drop this on you real quick. You got about 2 minutes to get yourself together and get back to work. And so RIP to the elders. We have to make sure our job is take the mantle, keep it moving, and make sure we continue to shine bright. All right, sis.
You know, we can rap. I just want to say what makes me sad is that people are not looking up to people like Cicely Tyson. We have people, the younger generation, the generation after me, who are looking up to people like these hoes on Instagram and these really crazy rappers and these SoundCloud color different hair, stupid. Cardi B's cute. She's not a role model. So I feel bad that we are losing these key people, and instead of looking up to the next generations like the Viola Davises, the Will Smiths is in that generation, and instead of looking up to them, no one looks up to them, and it's disappointing.
No, that's something that's unacceptable to me. Growing back, I always talk about how much I love hip hop on this show, but my musical library goes back to songs going back to the 1920s and 30s. I love jazz. I love contemporary. I love more traditional, improvisational jazz than smooth jazz, because I respect generations. These are all the foundations, and there's a problem to me, that I believe, as you mentioned, that there's a generation now that don't feel like what happened before them even really happened. Even the way that a lot of rappers try to disrespect the golden age of hip hop rappers, like y'all wouldn't exist if these cats wouldn't have done it. Here's the thing: most of y'all, I want to see somebody go and grab a mic and challenge Busta Rhymes in a rap battle. Please, I want to be entertained, because you're gonna get wore out. And he's 49 years old, 50 years old. So, but to your point, yeah, but it's a different game now. These, you can just go on the internet and do salacious things and bust it challenge and all this type of stuff, and it's all entertaining. But when it's all said and done, man, we got to get back into these books, history books, and understand the people who laid the ground foundation, because if not, we're doomed to repeat the issues that we've had. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Fun show. Go out there and download Robinhood so that you can know so you can know what your 2-3 stocks are doing, just like mine.
Fidelity.
I got the Fidelity guy. Trust your Fidelity guy. Thanks to my man Melvin Coleman for coming on, giving us some insight from that direction. Thanks to all the people here on the comment thread. Y'all make sure y'all can, if you watch this later, drop your comments. We'll probably jump in every now and again and respond to a few of them. You got something.
Next week, guys, we're having the COVID vaccine conversation, because I'm done with you. I'm getting a physician on here to have this conversation. We're going to interview.
You
because
done with me? You done with me?
No, I'm done with the conspiracy theories about them trying to kill Black people and it being a placebo and this and that. I'm done with all of you. Life Full Circle is going to do their part to put that crap to rest. Am I right?
All right. Yeah, I'm good with that. Absolutely. If you find somebody, if you don't find somebody, let me know. I'll dig through my Rolodex, as I said a couple of weeks ago, going old school. Thank you, Dijon, our viewers, and it's a very good friend of mine. But you guys are always a part of the show. We want to make sure that we get you guys engaged. So make sure you drop your comments. We're listening. We're watching. We get ready to start running this thing primarily on. I want to start doing a little bit more on YouTube live and kind of see what the audience responds to over there. Because Facebook kind of funny things. Everybody's not seeing us, and I'm not really cool with that. I want everybody to see us live and respond, but it's all good. All right, make sure y'all, if you want to drop a couple coins on us, the information will be up on the next screen. We appreciate the love. We'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.